What's good? We are live here. That's on me, episode 2, season 2. I'm your boy Phil at Philly Stack on Twitter. If you're catching me on YouTube or Facebook, got my boy Justin here, and got my boy Liam. What's good,
What
boys?
up?
Yo, Justin, can you
What's
hear
happening?
us?
I can hear you.
What's your app for the people so they know where to follow you on Twitter?
My @ is Chunk Dirty4, no underscores. That's only on Instagram. Actually, no. I removed my underscore from Instagram.
Ho
It wasn't available for a long time, but I got my user back, so we out here.
So it's Chunk34.
Yup.
Got it. Now the people know. Now the people can see it. How do you get a name
Yeah,
like Chunk Dirty, bro? What's the story behind that?
There's a YouTube video featuring Super Hot Fire. One of his opponents, their team name was Chunk Dirty. And it had a big impact on my pay homage.
Say no more. Say no more. Liam, I see you rocking the Cleveland's jersey.
Yep, we're the Clevelands.
Listen, it's been a long day. It's a long day, and it's
Hot
gonna be
start.
on the pod.
People call it the Miami Heats.
The Miami's Heat.
Miami's Heat.
We got Rudy popping in later, and we got the Congolese striker, aka Joel, popping in later as well. They'll be popping in soon. But right now, we're gonna start off this podcast talking about some football. There's some interesting topics right now in the NFL. First things first, we're gonna talk about the most recent headline, which is Henry Ruggs III, the receiver on the Raiders. And like I said, this season, we're not doing any questions, just straight to topics. Obviously, what went down, tragic DOI charge with a death in this accident. Henry Ruggs, second-year receiver on the Raiders. Contract $4 million for 4 years for $16 million total with a $9 million signing bonus. And the Raiders released him. Obviously, from Alabama, breadwinner, and came up the ranks, went to University of Alabama, and now is not looking good right now for his situation. So, Randall, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I was shocked. So one of my best friends, his uncle is the interim coach for the Las Vegas Raiders now, since the John Gruden situation. So we talk about the Raiders a lot, and he texted Ruggs, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "All right, he just probably tore his ACL or something, or got some kind of injury." But when I saw the headline, I was shocked, bro. Obviously, it was super early, like TMZ was reporting stuff, and whenever you see TMZ, you're gonna be skeptical about everything. Then the details started coming out. You see how fast he was driving. You see a life was taken. You see he was impaired when he was driving, and you're just like, wow, that is just the saddest shit ever. It angers the hell out of me because I take pride in safe driving and just because I've been in accidents and stuff where the driver, not in the vehicle I'm in, but the other driver has been intoxicated, and I've almost lost my life for that, and so I take that shit super seriously. So anytime I hear something like that happen, it makes me sick to my stomach. Just thinking back to my situation or any situation that anyone's ever been in, because that's completely out of your control if you're the person that car makes contact with. You have no control over that. You're just driving. You're being safe in that situation. The other person has no regard for human life, basically. In this case, it's Henry Ruggs. Bro, 156 miles per hour. it's like he was trying to die himself.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's a crazy situation. And to add on to your details, the report was 156. He was clocked in at some point. Airbags came in at 127. It was a Tuesday, 3 a.m. coming back from the club, and his girlfriend was also in the car.
Oh
So,
my God.
with all those details, Liam, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think the other one that's important is you also want a residential street. Like this isn't the highway, which is like insane. Yeah, yesterday was just all around a wild day in the NFL with everything going
Yeah.
on, and like Justin said, like the news kind of broke like bit by bit. So like at first it comes out that he's in a crash and someone's dead. So people are speculating like, is he okay? Like, is he the one that unfortunately passed away? And then like another hour goes by, and then all of a sudden it turns out he was drunk, and then you find out how fast he's going. Like the whole situation is just really sad. Especially because I mean, you have to work so hard to get to that level of athletics, and then he just completely threw it all away for no reason. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like the dude's an idiot. Like it's just sad all around. Like there's nothing like fun to talk about.
Yeah, and like I said, he's a breadwinner. He came out the mud. He came growing up with nothing. Like he was putting on for his family, for his mom, for his, whoever took care of him. He was the guy financially supporting everyone, and now all that's being thrown away. I know with his record from the research that I've done, he hasn't been in a lot of trouble. Nick Saban and then NFL. He's done his work. He worked his ass off to get where he was, and now it looks like it's all going down the drain, or at least maybe. So the next question, Liam, I'll go right back to you. Is he done? Because he's looking at 2 to 20 years in prison because of a felony charge. They're treating this as a felony charge. So, is his career in the NFL done?
Yeah, I part of me is like, there's no way he's ever gonna play a snap again, and then another part of me is like, look at some of the dudes that are still in the NFL. But even with all that said, like, I mean, the team I root for has Kareem Hunt on it. Like, I get it. Like, some of this stuff sucks, but like, he killed someone. Like, I don't think he'll ever play another snap in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to go to prison for very long. I assume they'll strike some kind of deal or whatever. But like, he also had a loaded gun in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like the whole. I don't know the laws in Vegas. I don't know what it's like, but like, what team is going to take a chance on a guy like that? His decision making is that poor. Like, especially in the deepest position in football. Like, there's so many wide receivers. Like, you don't need a guy like that in your locker room. So I mean, I don't want him to like live a miserable life, but I don't think he deserves to ever play another snap in the NFL.
Randall, same question to you.
Yeah, I pretty much feel the same way. There, as soon as I kind of compiled all the details of what happened, the first name that came up in my head was Dante Stallworth, and I had seen tweets about Dante Stallworth like linked to Henry Ruggs. He, I think he got a DWI. He killed somebody in a car accident, and he was back. I don't know how many years after, but he was back to playing. But this is a different time now, where NFL teams are a lot more brand conscious. A lot of those owners do not care about hurting the community's feelings by bringing somebody back, but they know that other people care, so it's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot more scrutiny on your decision to bring someone into the organization, but this is bad, man. Yeah, like William said, like it may seem different to some people that it was an accident, but he didn't legit murder someone. But I mean, he killed somebody based on his actions that were completely avoidable. So, yeah, I don't want to see him lead a miserable life either. I hope he, learns, from what he did. It's hard not to. Holy shit! But yeah, got to answer for stuff like this.
Yeah, like I said, it's a tragic situation, and trying to steer away from this topic. Obviously, condolences to anyone that was affected, all the loved ones. Um,
Facts.
but like, Henry Ruggs was part of the Raiders, and the Raiders this season has had an interesting season. They're starting off hot. Everything's looking good. Obviously, they lost some games, but now with this situation with Henry Ruggs, but they released him, and then John Gruden, as a fan of the Raiders, in the brand new Las Vegas Raiders, right? Brand new, like what is how do you like as a player or as a fan, like how do you continue with this season, right?
Thanks.
Like I feel like I don't know if they make the playoffs, they make the playoffs. But like I said, they have an interim head coach. They just lost Henry Ruggs. I think he was receiver one. Not sure though. So like,
Yep.
your quarterback just lost their head coach. Your best weapon. It's looking very, very slow for whatever comes in the near future. But let's switch topics. Still on football. Randall, we're gonna go with you. The Rams right now are one of the hottest teams in the NFL, one of the top teams. And they just got Von Miller on their defense. What is your thoughts on that?
Bro. I'm sorry.
Nah, that's fine. I said Von Miller just got added to the Rams defense via trade. What are your thoughts on that, on the Rams, who are one of the top teams in the NFL right now?
My goodness. I tried to give an NBA comparison to my brother. He doesn't really watch much football as to what adding Von Miller does for the Rams. I think I exaggerated a lot, but that's adding. You have 3 future Hall of Famers on defense on your team. 2 of the best players in the NFL on defense were already on the team together. And Von Miller's, he's a champion. One of the best linebackers of this generation. This is unfair, man, because you have to say in the passing game, you have to worry about the top corner in the NFL and one of the top or the best pass rusher in the NFL every possession. And now you got to worry about, that much added pressure in the pass and the run. Like, Von Miller is nasty, man. Like, the Rams clearly want to win now. They're in, like, a great position to do so. Like, everyone knew their offense was going to be was going to be electric, but it's beyond expectations. Like the way Cooper Kupp is playing, and, they thought they were going to lose their running game when Cam Akers went down, but they got Darrell Henderson, and he's killing. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. I think they're a top 3 team in the NFL, especially now with this addition. So it's when I saw people going crazy on Twitter, and rightfully so. Like, seems unfair. We'll see how it works. It's gonna work, but crazy.
How about you, Liam?
Yeah, pretty much just echo all that. I still don't like. I know they beat the Bucks earlier this year, but like, if they're playing head to head, I think I'd still take the Bucks. I just think they're deeper, and it's impossible to go against Brady. But I mean, that team is stacked. Stafford's probably the MVP favorite right now. I mean, they're doing whatever they want on offense. Like, they haven't even really needed their defense that much. So this is just kind of like the rich get richer. Like, I don't even like Von Miller doesn't even have to do that much. Like, the offensive lines and like the running backs that have to pick up blitzes are going to be so overwhelmed by him. Like, I feel like Donald is just going to kill people now, like even more than he already was.
Yeah, adding Von Miller to, with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, like, these are the top guys at what they're doing. The Rams right now, it's tough for me to pick who comes out of that side, because obviously I can't count out Tom Brady and the Bucks, and the Rams are doing the thing, and you're always going to hear about the Cowboys and Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think I have like a favorite, but the Rams are a top team, the Bucks are a top team, but the Rams just got even tougher with this acquisition. And it's not like, I don't think they have any weaknesses other than maybe they can't run the ball, because you don't really hear about their run game because they got Matthew Stafford, they got Cooper Kupp, and their defense is legit. Maybe in special teams they're average, but I guess we'll never know until we see when the time comes. But that Von Miller trade for I think only his second round too, which I think is kind of a steal. I feel like you could have got more, but
The NFL is weird, man. Sometimes they'll get a massively good player, and then you're only going to give up a few draft picks. Just very situational.
yeah. So I don't know, but the Rams right now they're obviously in win mode, like y'all said, and I pray for any offensive line that has to strategize how to stop Aaron Donald on one side and Von Miller on the other side, like
Or the same side if you
or
want
the
to
same,
get annoying.
like
If you want
who,
to just be
who are
mean.
you gonna double? You can't double both of them, right?
No, at all.
Like that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a stressful day for one of those linemen. I pray for whoever's gonna take on that assignment. But let's switch on to our final football topic. And Liam, we're gonna go to you first. It's about your Browns. It's about OBJ because me personally as a fan, I don't get it. But like I said, no questions, just straight thoughts. The situation right now, OBJ's dad is sounding off on Twitter. It's sounding off on many people. The Browns are losing, and I can see videos of people saying OBJ's open, and I can see tweets of people saying, they gotta let OBJ go. The antics are coming back. Blah 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 blah. What are your thoughts on this situation with OBJ and the Browns?
Bro, this shit drives me crazy. I've never understood why he's so hated. It makes no sense to me. Like, I mean, honestly, like I know why. It's because he's a young, confident black guy, and people don't like that. But like so many people want to see him fail. It's so weird to me. Like, I mean, he hasn't been great this year. Like, I still think he's amazing. But like, he's had a couple drops, and like, if you go and like look at tweets, like everybody will be like, "Well, when they throw it to him, he doesn't catch it." But like, it's just not true. Like, Baker does not throw him the ball.
Facts.
I've never wanted Baker. I hated that draft pick, and he took us to the playoffs, and I was like, "Sweet, I guess I was wrong." And he's been awful this year. And then like a
Yeah.
couple days ago, he's like retweeting like fake police facts on his like Instagram, and I was like, this is just a disaster, like all around. And then today, OBJ just isn't with the team at all, and they're saying they don't want to waive him, but they don't want him to be part of the team. I don't understand. It's infuriating. I don't know, like I don't get why you'd pick Baker over OBJ. Like, we have evidence that Odell can be a top 5 receiver. There's no evidence that Baker's even an above average quarterback. Like, as a fan of the team, I just feel like we're making the wrong decision. And, like, I get it. I mean, the Browns have been awful my entire life. We've never had a good quarterback. But, like, that doesn't mean we have to settle for, like, an okay one, I guess. And, like, if he's not going to get along with a star receiver, then why would we want him on our team? So the situation sucks. It's a bummer. I hate it. Especially because like if they do release him, he'll go sign with like the Raiders or the Saints or
Oh yeah.
something and be amazing. So
Yeah.
it sucks. It's an awful situation.
Randall, what's your analysis on all this?
I'm really frustrated too. I've always been a big fan of him, and I know how good he is. He had a really good season in 2019, and like right before he got hurt in 2020, he was like just starting to come around. Like he had a really good game. I forgot against who, but he pretty much won
The
game off
Cowboys.
like right, yeah. And he played phenomenal. He had 3 touchdowns. And like it was like, oh my gosh, finally they're I don't want to say force feeding them, but they kind of were because they had to. But like I don't know if you guys watched the video, but if you watch that video, the 11-minute video, it's like appalling. Like you know that he's getting looked off a lot on the field, but it's like you have to really see it compiled to like really be like alarmed, like oh my goodness. The Minnesota game, for example, like could have had 4 touchdowns just from either being underthrown or just Baker not being able to read the field, and it's weird because there'll be like an underneath route to Baker where he's wide open, but the tight end will be like deep in double coverage, and he'll try to fit it in there when he could easily just get like a 15-yard gain from OBJ. And there's so many examples where it's just weird. It's like this. I don't think this will ever happen in the NFL, but it's like it felt like sabotage. Like honestly, it was that appalling to watch. Um, he's based on like you can just see his route running is crisp. Like he still has like crazy speed. Yeah, he's definitely dropped passes this year. Um, some of them are just because he doesn't want to die because he's being thrown into the middle of the field between a safety and somebody else. But some of them, all receivers drop passes. But he's still you can just tell he's still great, and he's gonna go to a team if he's released and shine. I mean, I'm just imagining him with Derek Carr. Derek Carr isn't like my favorite quarterback, but one thing Derek Carr is going to do is he's going to let his receivers eat or his weapons. He's going to force feed the ball to the best players on the field. Um, so I'm just imagining that. Obviously, like I would love him on the Ravens, um, but it's just so strange, man. Like Stefanski also I have a huge problem with. I don't want to get too much into that. His history with receivers and their production dropping is like, yeah, it's evident. But yeah, it's just frustrating. I hope he gets out. I hope he gets freed. I want him to work with the Browns, but go somewhere else, dog. Let him go somewhere else.
Yeah. So for me, I'm kind of opposite of Liam, just on this perspective of I like Baker Mayfield because, like you said, you haven't really had a good quarterback, and I feel like Baker Mayfield is probably that quarterback that could make some change for that franchise in any way, right? No playoffs to playoffs. I feel like okay, that's enough, right? But you're absolutely right. Baker has been playing awful, but he has been injured, and I'm looking at the tape like OBJ, like when I saw the game, I forget who they played. It was this year. Like he was like last on like targets. Like they're not finding him. And he's not known for dropping passes. He's not known for being a lazy route runner. He's not known for being slow, right? This is the Giants all over again. You're using him wrong, and you're not putting him in a position to succeed, and you're just not finding him. So as a receiver, we see as fans, we see all the videos of him just walking, you know, Baker's getting, hyped and he's just walking through and shit like that. And everyone's saying it's antics. No, it's not antics. The morale is down. You're not using them right. You obviously don't want to win and you haven't been winning. And you have one of the best receivers in the game, you know, just through his record, through his resume, right? And you're making him you're treating him like he's like a rookie, like a seventh round rookie. So the Odell situation to me is absolutely weird. The coach, I don't know much about the coach. I do know the Browns hasn't really had like a good coach. Um, like Baker has not been like spectacular. Some of that is on the coaching as well, and a lot of it's on Baker as well too. He hasn't been injured this year, but he still hasn't been spectacular, and he's got weapons. So you have to be at least somewhat okay with OBJ, Landry, and Hunt. Like these guys are solid. Like you guys should right now. Your record is what 500, 4-4.
Yeah.
I feel like they should be at least 5-3 in my opinion. And I feel like you're better than the
Oh yeah,
Steelers.
they've tricked off some games for sure.
Yeah.
They've lost games.
I feel like they're better than the Steelers. They're not better than the Ravens, but being in second place in that division to the Ravens, I feel like you can compete for the wild card. And you got Miles Garrett on one end, on the other side, and good talent. I just feel like if they don't turn it around quick, they're not going to make the playoffs. And I don't know what they're going to do with OBJ. I feel like they should make amends and fix this, because if they do, good things can happen. But who knows what's going to happen? It's the NFL, and I don't know, free OBJ, but like, what's a good team for OBJ next season, or if they waive him then?
I mean, any wide receiver needy team, like I mean, the two that came out today are the two that I said, the Saints and the Raiders, because the Saints lost Michael Thomas today, like officially, and Ruggs obviously is not on the team. So those two, I mean, everybody back home would love to see him in the Patriots. It'd be like Randy Moss 2.0. That'd be my worst nightmare. I'd start watching hockey or something. It'd be ridiculous. But, I mean, like, it's weird with the Browns because, like, Stefanski won Coach of the Year last year, and like,
Yeah.
he's a good coach. He just like doesn't know how to scheme pass plays. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. So like, honestly, like OBJ is just wasted on this team. Like, I feel like he'd be better on every single team in the league. Like Justin was saying, if he's on the Ravens, like him and Lamar would torch people. So I think every team would want a guy like that. I don't know, like, if people want to put up with like not drama, because like he doesn't bring drama like people think he does, but like he hasn't done anything this year. It's been his dad, which is weird. But like I don't know if like Belichick wants to deal with that shit or whatever. But I mean, he's just gonna be a monster wherever he goes. It's gonna be so annoying.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the drama, because really, the only incident with OBJ that is tagged to his resume, and pretty much the downfall of like finding success, is when he was on that yacht with, I think, Justin Bieber and Sterling Shepard. That's it. Other than that, I don't see any other, dramatic events, any antics, nothing like that. Do y'all agree?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The one people bring up is like when he kicked the goalpost or the fake field goal thing, like on the sideline, which like, if you've played sports, you get mad sometimes. Like I don't understand. He gets so much shit. It's so bizarre. And like he does he used to do like the dancing and stuff, which every receiver does. Like, I don't know. Like the dude can't catch a break. I feel bad for him because like I was so excited when the Browns traded for him, and I thought he was going to be amazing, and he's just been absolutely wasted.
I saw years of playoffs for the Browns because of my love for OBJ and Baker, also Landry, and tight end David Njoku, and
that's his name.
David Cleveland's. He's awesome.
No, but Liam, it does have a lot to do with his appearance, which is hurtful. But yeah, those sideline antics are so blown out of proportion. I've seen linemen throw their helmet and break it, and it's just blown out of proportion. People just, he's he's out there in terms of his style, and people really don't like that. When you're conservative about everything. Like, you don't want shit. You don't want celebrations. You don't want everything. It's unfortunate. You got to be like so compact in your identity to be liked by a certain demographic. Who cares about being liked? But
especially in the NFL, dude. The NFL is so lame. Like, DK Metcalf getting fined for like hugging the goalpost. Like, what are we doing?
I know. Crazy.
Yep. So now we're going to switch over. We're going to talk about some basketball. We're going to bring in the Congolese striker. Yo, Joel, can you hear us? Joel, you're on mute right now. Can anyone hear Joel?
It's probably you again, Phil.
Nah, I added him. It's not me this time.
Ooh, Blazers lost by 3. I know.
I think that should work. Okay.
Oh, we got the Congolese striker.
What's the word?
We're live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yo, what's the word?
Bill, Justin, Liam, and the CEO of Ecotex. He goes by many names. He's the CEO of Ecotex, the Congolese striker, UNH All-American track performer, and Africa's most wanted criminal. We got Joel here. Joel, what's good, Brody?
What introduction, man? I don't even know what to say to that. How are you living, Liam? What's up, Chunk Dirty?
Half of that was cat, but
Yeah, half
Yeah,
that
why
was
didn't we get introductions like that, Phil?
I gave y'all your ads on your names.
He got
Yeah,
like
that's-
7 different nicknames, and you're like, yeah, it's Justin. and
Listen,
Liam,
he's a
so.
guest on the podcast. You got to treat him right.
Fine.
Joel, what's good, Brody?
I'm doing good, man. It's a Wednesday night. It's been up doing some work. Catching up, preparing for tomorrow. So another day, another dollar. What's the
Where you
topic?
at right now? It looks like you're in your attic.
I'm in the city. I'm in my apartment right now.
That's what's up, Brody.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
good for you, man.
We're still waiting on Rudy. He said he'll jump in. When that happens, that happens. But we're gonna keep going with these topics. Joel, just to let you know, it's season 2. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We don't really do questions. We just do topics, and we just want to hear your thoughts. You can say whatever, right? You can say whatever. And right now, our next topic are the Chicago Bulls. Right now, which they are one of the top teams in the NBA, 6-1.
6-2.
6-2. They lost today. They just lost.
They lose tonight?
6-2.
Yeah, they lost me money.
They're 6-2. They got Lonzo, DeMar, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and I don't know who's starting for Patrick Williams, but they have a nice team with some all-star talent and talent off the bench with Alex Caruso. So Joel, you're the guest. I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts on the Chicago Bulls?
Listen, I'm bullish on the Bulls, man. I had this argument with my peoples earlier this week. I like the Bulls. The Rosen looks nice. Everyone feels what really excites me is that like they look like they're having fun. Lonzo actually looks like he's having fun. Caruso's dunking lob. It just look like a fun team, and the city's hype right now. When's the last time the Bulls have been on the strike? So, hey, I'm calling it. I'm bullish on the Bulls. I'll even be as bold saying they're making the playoffs, at least going past the first round at this pace, man. I'll put them on that. They're looking nice.
All right, Liam, you previously said the Bulls are not making the playoffs. You don't like this team. You said this team looks good on paper, but in reality, they are not good. But they're 6-2 and one of the top teams. What are your thoughts on the Bulls?
He said worse than that.
Yeah, I mean, I still am not super into them, and I mean, I said all that before the Patrick Williams injury. That really sucks for them. Like, that's actually brutal. But they've obviously been way better than I thought they'd be. Their win over the Jazz was actually like the first one that actually impressed me. Like, they held that team under 100 points, which I didn't think they'd do all year to anybody. But we'll see how it gets like down the stretch. I just don't buy this group of players together, but I've been wrong so far. So we'll see, man.
You have been wrong for a while, for many seasons.
It's been 2 weeks. Settle down.
Randall, your thoughts on the Bulls?
Yeah, I think they're making the playoffs, but there are some games, honestly, like especially like tonight. I watched the whole game, and they can get super stagnant. Like Vucevic has been playing; he's been playing awful to start the season. Everyone else is playing really well. Alonzo's a little shaky. Vucevic is not; he's not shooting well. I won't say he's playing awful. He's passing really well, but like he got sunned by Embiid tonight, and Embiid like didn't even really play that well. But
yeah, he can't guard anybody.
Yeah, it's tough for him. But in the East, there's a lot of depth in the East too. I think they're gonna squeak a playoff spot, like late.
Wait, squeak?
Yeah, I think they're gonna squeak a playoff spot. I thought earlier is that, like, I know they're 6-2. This was not even 2 weeks ago or a week ago where I said they might be a top 4 seed, but a week can change a lot. And that's why That's why you can't make like grandstanding proclamations like early on in the season, like a week in, which is what I did. And they lost Patrick Williams. He's a really good defender. I love watching them, but like there's some games like this is the Sixers without Tobias Harris, and they're not defending the three. Korkmaz is like blown by Lonzo Ball. I got pissed off a lot tonight because that man can't dribble. He can't get by anybody. Yeah, it was without Tobias Harris, and I'm like, yo, how are you letting this happen? I will say the Sixers made like every three they took tonight. They made a lot of tough shots, and Embiid just didn't play well. So that kind of attributes to their defense. But they can score. Like, they can really, really score. DeMar gets shots off easily. Zach LaVine, obviously, he's going to get you 25. Lonzo just, like, this team will go really far if he, like, actually gets aggressive and goes to the basket, which, like, he doesn't do. And I've seen him do it. They don't really have a lob threat, which hurts them, like, when Lonzo does get to the lane. But
what about the rookie Ayo?
Yeah, I love him. Ayo Dosunmu.
The Illinois guy.
Yeah, he had a really small role in the first couple of games, and then he had a game where he like literally brought them back and led them to win. It was the Celtics. He carried them in the second half, in the third quarter at least. I like him, and they don't have Kobe White yet, so we'll see. I like Kobe White.
That's facts.
But yeah, top four. I said that a little early, but I like him.
But
we'll see what
you said, but now you're saying squeak. What does that mean?
Because, bro, you have to understand, like, first of all, I want to say this. The East has been the better conference for the last, like, 2 or 3 years now. It's getting hard.
Time out. What?
But who's going to be ahead of them? Like,
what do you mean the East has been the better conference?
Maybe like 5 teams.
From top to bottom.
Top to bottom, the Eastern Conference is better?
I think so. For the last few years. All right, so the way I'm judging that is, especially from 2019 and in the bubble, playoff series were just a lot more competitive.
That's fair.
Like, the Lakers-Nuggets series is a blowout. I don't even know how they made it to the conference finals. I mean, the Clippers obviously dropped the ball on that. They were up 3-1. But I just looked at those 2 years, and, like, the playoff series were, like, really competitive, like, down to the wire, like, from first round to the finals. It's just getting tough, bro. Like the Heat, like the Bucks, the Nets, the Knicks out of nowhere getting really good. The Pacers, like, record is horrible, but they're like a really good team if they figure it out and get healthy. Who else is in there? The Sixers,
Cavs.
No, not even a joke. Which
dude, they're good.
Last episode, but they're really good. The Celtics, like, if they ever just stop, like, thinking the sky is falling after a three game losing streak, like, they'll be fine. There's depth, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely forgetting.
Here's where I'm kind of disagreeing with you. Your comment on the Eastern Conference being better. Now it's early now, so if you're saying for right now, I'll give it to you. The Eastern Conference is definitely better what it was in the past couple of years. But in the past couple of years, the playoffs, it's the wild, wild west. Like we see series where John Morant goes crazy, and we're thinking they might send Utah home. Utah's been sent home as the 1 seed as the favorite many times, right? Because it's the West, right? And you got teams that are not healthy saying, if we were 100% healthy, this would have been that, right? Now I'm not saying like the West is better than the East right now. I don't know. Certain teams are underperforming, but in the past, I think the Western Conference has been the most dominant conference for like many, many years, and it's gonna be
for longer than a decade for sure, and even before that. But I
do agree with you. The Heat are coming up. The Pacers don't really have like a superstar, but they're always solid with like their team play, and they just know how to get into the playoffs and play well. So I'll definitely agree with you on that. But
I didn't even mention the Nets before. That's a team I forgot. But here, I'm about to say something. You're just going to piss you off. The Western Conference Finals 2019, the team that made it with the Warriors was not very good compared to previous teams that made it. That is the Portland Trailblazers. They got swept.
They
That's what
got
I'm trying to say.
smoked the next year too.
What does that
They
got to
got
do with
dominated.
anything?
I'm just saying that there's a huge drop off.
Yeah, there is. The West is
Nurkic. Whoa. You got to put things in perspective. First of all, that's when y'all had KD, right?
And that's when we had KD. He got hurt in that series. He didn't play.
Did we have Nurkic?
Maybe, I don't fucking know.
Nurkic was injured. Dame,
it was Myers Leonard. Yeah.
Dame got injured too. So like, if
Yeah,
they
you
were
healthy,
like I said before, like many other teams, if they were healthy, because the Warriors got lucky, bro. But that's not even the topic. But the Warriors have gotten lucky in the past. True.
Yes, every team has.
You have to get lucky to win a championship.
Absolutely.
But when you're the favorite and you get lucky, bro, it's like what?
Every team that's ever won a championship has gotten lucky somehow. Sometimes
Also,
more than others.
that same year, could you have seen how easy was it to see that the Sixers with Jimmy Butler could have won the finals that year?
Oh, they could.
And they lost before the conference finals. Like, that is crazy. Like, the East was nasty.
Bro, the East only has 3 teams at max.
What?
Right now?
3 to 4
Or always
teams.
does?
Huh?
No, I'm talking about the last 3 years, bro.
Name the teams the last 3 years that were favorites on the East.
That were on the East? There's a lot, man.
Sixers.
The Raptors.
Bucks.
The Sixers.
Milwaukee,
always.
yeah.
Yes, Milwaukee's always there.
No one had
The Nets were last year.
I mean, arguably the Celtics too.
Yes, always.
There was always 3 teams. It was either Milwaukee, Raptors, and Celtics. And then when
Miami made the finals 2 years ago.
Miami came out of nowhere.
That was not
Came out of
nowhere.
nowhere.
They weren't expected to sweep multiple teams, but it wasn't out of nowhere. It was out of nowhere, I guess, because they were like a 5 seed or something.
Nah, that
just shows you the depth, bro. Is what I'm just kind of.
Bro, that was just. Bro, what happened the following year though?
What happened the follling year? They got
The Bucks won the championship.
Thank you.
That team's in the East, though.
What?
Yeah.
But the Bucks, Raptors, and the Celtics. Until KD came, then it became Nets, Bucks, and Heat.
The Hawks made the conference finals last year.
Yep.
Thank you.
Came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Oh, trust me, I know. But still.
Came out of nowhere. Like, hey, I don't know what you want me to say, but
it's just because the West has more fun players.
Yes,
like they have almost all of the superstars. The East just has like deeper teams. Like nobody's dying to watch the Pacers, but like that team's better than the Blazers, even though they have Damian Lillard.
That's facts.
I know you guys know what you guys are talking about because the 10th seed on the West, or I'll say 9th seed just to be safe. The 9th seed will have a better record than the 6th seed on the East team.
Yeah, but that's because
what does that tell you?
That's because the 2 worst teams in the league are in the West, though.
What?
You get to beat up on the Thunder more than the teams in the East do.
Facts.
I don't know about that because you still got to play them East teams, and those East teams got to play those West teams.
The point is, the drop off on the West is so much more. That's the matter of fact. Since the bubble era switched, the only teams in the West right now which we can gamble on is Warriors, Lakers, Jazz, and then there's a massive drop off.
For real.
Massive drop off. Everything else is fickle.
That's facts. That's facts. And let's change the subject. We talked about the Bulls enough. Let's talk about Tyler Hero right now. Coming off the bench, he's averaging 31 minutes, averaging 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 47 from the field, 40 from the 3-point line, 85 from the charity stripe, and the Heat are 6-1. So Liam, the man that picks the All-Stars himself, is he gonna be an All-Star if he keeps this up?
It's the 2nd week of the season. Jesus Christ. I mean, if he keeps doing this, yeah, he has to be. he's been like arguably their best player, which is crazy. But did you also see like he got so much shit for saying that he belongs with Trey and Luca and those guys? Have you seen that like picture going around of the three of them like stats next to each other?
Yeah.
His stats are better than theirs.
Yeah.
I personally don't think this is going to keep up. It'd be hilarious if it did because it's Tyler Hero, but like he looks really good. It surprised me for sure. I think a lot of people thought he'd have a bounce back year. Like I think he was the betting favorite for most improved, but this is crazy. I mean, his efficiency is off the charts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What about you, Randall?
So during the game, I forget who the announcer was, but they brought up a stat of where it might have been actually Legler today, where he brought up a stat that Tyler Hero is like 65% in the mid range right now, which is insane. He's shooting like crazy. It's like they get a huge lead in every second quarter or like the end of the first quarter, just off his spark alone, and that's so important. Like I laughed a little bit when he said that about Trae Young and Luka, but like that's a confidence. Like if there's anyone in that age group, there's a few guys in that age group where I wouldn't like be completely shocked if they said that. Just based off like where they've been. Like Tyler Hero helped lead his team to. I mean, he wasn't the best player on the team, but he played a huge role in making to the finals. So he has that out of his pedigree. A lot of young guys don't have that, but he definitely had a rough second year. The second year slump is real, sophomore slump. But you know, he worked hard. Like he gets to his spots like a veteran. And his passing has gotten a lot better. He just like, you know, he's gonna keep improving because he wants it, and he has Jimmy Butler on his team, who's, you know, he's gonna call you out. He's gonna demand for you to be great. And when you're young and you're on a championship contender for like a number of years, like you're just in such a better position than someone who's going to play for the Pistons and lose, be in the draft. You're going to be in the lottery for the next 5 years. So he's in a great position. He's averaging, I mean, as of yesterday, he's averaging the same amount of points as Trey and Luka, and like a similar amount of assists, like maybe 2 less. Yeah, early in the season, Luka and Trey are going to be at over 25, but Tyler Hero looks really, really good. I'm happy for him. He had some baby mama drama, and it's never good early. But
You're saying
I don't know,
you're saying Trey and Luka are going to average over 25 points?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe not. I mean, Trey, if Trey dips below 25, that's because he's got a lot of scoring in his team and he's going to be distributing. But yeah, I think so.
Okay. Hold that thought for when we switch topics. But Joel, same question to you. Tyler Hero, All-Star this season? Question mark?
It's tough. It's tough to say. I mean, at this pace, you got to. I mean, it's clear that this man is motivated because, like Randall said, a lot of drama in the summer got people doubting him. So I think he sees this as like, this is my year to either make it or I'm done. Like, you know, I think it's going to be his breakout year. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm hyped about it. I think we got to see if this extends out to Christmas, and then we can make a better judgment, because who knows too, with the Heat, how they're also going to be inserting him into the lineup, depending on the schedule. So I think at this pace, why not? Why not? But the man's definitely on a mission for slaughter.
That's facts. And if he keeps this up, in my opinion, I say why not? But like, I don't remember the last time someone made an All-Star team coming off the bench. I know the closest was Lou Williams when he was on the shoot. I forget which team, but he was killing off. Oh, he was on the Clippers. And him and Jimmy Butler were actually beefing because I think Jimmy Butler got the last spot and he got injured, and they gave it to somebody else, and they didn't give it to Lou Williams. And that's the closest I've seen. And if Tyler does this off the bench, he plays 31 minutes. That's a lot. Why not? And the Heat are the best team. I know that's important to Liam when it comes to All-Star selection, not to the rest of the world. But
wow,
if that if he keeps these numbers up and he keeps being Tyler Hero and throwing some amazing plays and something like that, that's a lock for sure. But let's go to the next subject, and we're gonna talk about one team that's underperforming, and it's the Boston Celtics. Right now, the Celtics are, in the eyes of the people, the Celtics fans are underperforming. Me being a Celtics fan, I would know. I got tickets to their Monday night game, and usually those tickets are expensive. They're dumb cheap right now, so I'm happy that I get to go. Hopefully, they lose a little more, so the tickets keep going down. But they got to figure it out at some point.
Jesus.
Liam, I see you nodding your head, so you can go first.
That's a crazy take.
Yeah.
No, listen, I'm being real. I'm being real. The tickets were cheap. I got them tickets for me and my girl. We are going to this game. We got the large seats too, so we're gonna be close. Like if I
Oh
want to,
yeah, dude, you and your girl are gonna love that game.
listen, if I go, yo,
That's wild. You put it in quotes.
Bro, they're
Listen.
so cheap because nobody wants to go watch Marcus Smart shoot contested threes. That team sucks. Oh my god, they stink. I love it.
So Liam, we'll go straight to you. Your thoughts? Should Celtics fans be worried? What's the problem with the Celtics? And your thoughts, man.
I mean, I don't think they should be worried. Like, you still have two of the best guys under the age of 14 or whatever they are that everybody says. But like, that team like needs a change, and I don't know what they can do. Like, they have no heart at all. Like, it looks like none of them want to play basketball. It's so bizarre. And then you have Marcus Smart, who's been a bum his whole career, is talking about like, I need the ball. I think he's shooting 23%, like, from the floor. Like, bro, you need to shut your mouth. Like, that's crazy. They need a point guard that can like set up the offense. I was actually surprised when the Cavs traded for Rubio. He'd be perfect for that Celtics team.
Facts.
And I know people on Twitter wanted them to go after Lonzo too. Like, Schroeder, I mean, they got Schroeder for a steal for that contract, but like, that dude's not a distributor. Like, they're just miserable to watch. That coach is in over his head. I'm sure he's a good coach, but it's hard to just be thrust into a team with high expectations like that with no real experience. I don't think there's a single playmaker on that entire roster, and like right now they don't even look like a playoff team. They're talented, but they have no direction. They have no drive. I hate the Celtics, so I love it. It's so much fun to watch. But like, even at this point, it's like sad. Like, I don't want to see Tatum and Brown like not balling out. Those guys are amazing, but it's just bizarre. It's a weird situation.
Joel, same question to you.
I mean, so I'm not a diehard Celtics fan, so like I'm not, I don't got too much stake in this, but it's true. I mean, this is starting to feel like, Houston making the playoffs but can't get through. It's starting to feel like 76ers that always got far away. It's starting to feel like the Jazz that consistently hit the top rankings but they can't pull through. It's got that characteristic where it's just like something is just off. And that loss against Chicago was just embarrassing. Like, coming in on top 14 and leaving and losing in the double digits, you can't have that happen. So, and honestly, I think what Marcus Smart said objectively is kind of true. I don't think he should have said that in a press conference. Leave that for the locker room. But he kind of has a point. Like, if you pay attention to that game, it kept going Tatum, but Brown was the one who was really driving the offense, at least in the first half of that game. So I don't know. It feels like they're forcing it. Maybe one of them's got to go, but it's clear that Boston needs direction, and I'm not sure what that solution is, but it's going to be another disappointing season if it doesn't course correct by Christmas.
Chunk 30, how about you?
Oh my God, where do I start? Bro, every year since they had IT, since they let go of IT, excuse me. Every time they go on like a little losing streak, oh my god, the fans and the media in that city are so spoiled. They go on a little losing streak and the sky is falling, bro. It's like they just blew a 3-1 lead. It's like oh my god, it's like someone died. It's unbelievable. Articles come out. Jackie McMullen's like, oh, their DNA is is toxic. Kyrie, he's not here anymore, but he's still causing problems in the locker. Like what?
Oh my god.
Is always an issue. Always an issue. And this Joel's right. Like what Marcus Smart said was very true. There's a lot of truth to it. I wish like someone else said it because Marcus Smart is having probably the worst start to a season in his career. Like, and he just hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't been great. He hit like really big shots in the bubble. Actually, he was really important, but he had a really bad season last year to his standards. They're really frustrating to watch, bro, because they'll have some quarters where they dominate and they move the ball and they play super well. Like they're throwing lobs to Robert Williams or they're scoring off jumpers and driving. They'll get to the fourth quarter and then all that shit's gone. All that shit's gone. They're all trying to be like Kobe. When I say all, I'm talking about Tatum and Brown. Jaylen Brown's had an amazing start to the season. Tatum, like, he's making me sick. I want to throw up. The dude can command so much of the defense if he wanted to. Like, he can like flirt with triple doubles if he wanted to. But he like doesn't look to. If he looks to pass, it's like, oh my god, abort! I got stopped at the bucket. I need to throw this over my head to somebody, and that's not that's not an offense. Like that's flowing. I've seen so many games in the box score where bro is like 4 for 15, and I'll look at his shot chart and it'll be all like mid-range turnarounds. Like, what do you expect? Go to the basket. Like you're quick, you can get by anybody. And it's really frustrating because I feel like he hasn't really improved since last year. His body definitely changed, but like man, and like the Chicago game, like that, I guess is a huge reason to panic. But in terms of like calling out the team in the media, you don't want to do that. But they need to change like, big time. Like against Chicago, they played a great game overall. Like they're moving the ball, but when it gets crunch time, like you got to know what to do. You got to know who to get the ball to. It's shaky.
Yeah. So for me, I didn't mind what Marcus Smart's been saying to the media because I feel like Marcus Smart is the heart of the team, and I don't think he's a bum. He does have his shooting woes though, but like I feel like he's a big. No, okay, stop that face. No, he has his shooting woes for real, but not there'll be times where he's like on fire. He's just very streaky, very streaky. Very streaky. I'll make that, and that's being real. He's not like a bad.
That's just a nice way to say that he stinks at shooting.
No.
Dude, come on. When you're watching that team, every time he shoots the ball, you're like, oh fuck. Like, come on.
Because if we're gonna describe Marcus Smart, he's obviously a tenacious defender, very good playmaker. Shooting below average, and anything past that's been solid. Am I right or wrong? So he's not like a bum, but like he's earned like what he's getting paid for. But obviously not right now. It's a slow start. New coach, and the shooting woes is the shooting woes. That's what he's gonna go through his ups and downs. But I feel like Marcus Smart can talk to the media about it because he's the heart and soul of the team, and they've gone through this so many times. But as a Celtics fan, it is tiring to see all these OTs, to see these blown leads. I expect a blown lead every Celtics games. Every Celtics game, I expect a blown lead. And like Randall said, Tatum, I just don't know what's like sidestep, fadeaway, baseline jump shot. Like you put on Like you were living in the weight room for what? Like why?
For what? For what?
Like get to the free throw line, get some foul calls. Like Tatum never needed the old rules with drawing fouls. So like I don't know like what he's doing with all these ridiculous shots. He's making it harder on himself. And obviously Jaylen Brown has been doing what he's been doing. Jaylen Brown, he's cooking, he's playing well. So this is gonna go to a follow-up question with the same topic. People are pretty much saying, we gotta trade one of them or we have to let go of one of them. Obviously, with Jaylen Brown being hot right now, they're saying get rid of Tatum, build around Brown. But Liam, question to you: should they look to trade one of these guys, or should they make to move people at all?
Are people really saying they should trade Jason Tatum?
They're saying,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, they don't know ball.
Tatum's untradeable. Like, he's so agonizing to watch, but his ceiling is he could be the best player in the league. I swear to God, he's like 7'4" now. He gets taller like every game. He's enormous. And I remember when he was like 19 years old and he like dunked on LeBron in the playoffs. And then like, has he even had a dunk since then? He's just afraid to go in the paint. It's so weird. You can't trade him. Like, you're never gonna get the proper value. Like, you're not gonna get Luka for him, or like, you can't trade him for Zion. The dude weighs 600 pounds. Like, there's just nobody you can trade him for. Jaylen Brown, I love. He's always been my favorite Celtic. That dude's a genius. Like, everything he does is so smart on the court. I don't think him and Tatum fit together because Tatum's basketball IQ is pretty much non-existent. But it's kind of the same thing. What would you be happy getting for Jaylen Brown? Like, the two of them are so valuable as assets, but together they kind of make each other worse, I think. Especially when you don't have, like I said, a point guard that can make them better. Like, I thought Kemba might be able to do that for them, but he didn't fit on that team at all. I mean, the team just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know who you can trade, though. Like, nobody's going to trade anything real for Marcus Smart. Like, he's also, if that dude played on any other team, nobody would care about him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if the Celtics had Draymond Green, you guys would be like, he's better than Bill Russell. Like,
Yeah.
they just love people that take charges and, like, get floor burns. It's so funny. Like,
Gritty
dude,
guys. That's why they love.
Dude,
That's why they love
Disrespect.
every
my God, dude.
receiver that plays like Edelman, man. They love.
Oh my god, dude.
Marcus
Like
Smart. No, Marcus Smart has earned the reputation as a guy that you don't want to mess with on the defensive
Chris
end.
Hogan.
Or on the offensive end.
Dude, he hasn't been a good defender in a couple years. Like, no, like when you watch Celtics games, nobody's afraid to go at him.
Did anyone see that Hornets game? Marcus Smart on LaMelo Ball. I saw it.
LaMelo Ball.
Well, what about LaMelo Ball now?
Are you kidding me, dude? He's afraid of everything.
This is the problem with you, Liam, man. First it was Trae Young.
What? That I'm right?
Then it was
no. I have plenty of thoughts about LaMelo Ball, but that dude is so afraid of contact. Of course, he's gonna be afraid of Marcus Smart.
You hate Lonzo Ball. You don't like Damian Lillard on this top 75 list. You just don't. I don't know what's good with you, man.
You're naming a lot of losers. I mean,
not
a lot of winners on that list.
Jesus. Listen, man. If it's about a certain topic, you just go straight to wins and losses. Last time I checked, basketball is a team sport. It's not all on one person. Am I right or wrong?
Wrong.
Yeah, but like,
I'm playing.
I mean,
one person makes a difference.
I feel like you're making my point for me. Like, it's a team sport. Of course, I'm gonna bring up wins and losses, especially because everybody says Marcus Smart is a winning player.
No, but here's the thing: when I talk about individuals, you want to bring up wins and losses. If I talk about All-Star and Trae Young, you go, what's their record? When I talk about Damian Lillard, top 75, you go, what's he been like in the playoffs? Like,
Lillard is not top 75, by the way.
We're gonna get to that, Joel, and I want to hear your opinion. Randall, what was that, bro?
That's what we do in scope when someone makes an excellent point. So Joel made an excellent point, and I just thought,
Jesus
that's what it
Christ.
was. Yo,
But-
can I say something about the Celtics?
Yes.
Y'all should never be forgiven for having Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Marcus Morris, Terry Rozier, and Gordon Hayward on the same team and not winning anything. That is
Stomped
crime.
by the Cavs.
Gordon
That's
Hayward was
crime.
whoa, time out. Because let's put things in perspective before you say something like that.
Yeah. Let's make excuses. Time out. My time. Let's make some excuses.
Excuses. These are facts. Gordon Hayward was injured. Like I don't remember a healthy season, a fully healthy season with Gordon Hayward. Kyrie, the whole team said we're giving the keys to Kyrie. Here you go, Kyrie. The only time they did something when he was I don't even think Scary Terry happened under Kyrie's watch. And when Kyrie was healthy, what happened? 4 seed, lost to the Bucks.
You guys won over 50 games, and it was the best you've been in 5 years.
We gave the keys to Kyrie, and nothing happened.
You gave up after one fully healthy year together.
Jaylen Brown under Kyrie's watch was trash, and that's not on Jaylen Brown either.
That's
on
not
Kyrie.
true. That's not true.
Trash.
He wasn't what he was. It is now.
He played better when Kyrie was not on the floor. What are you talking about?
That's exactly my point. When Kyrie wasn't on the floor, Jaylen Brown was playing amazing.
Yeah, and
Why
you were losing.
That is?
My
There's
point.
more opportunity. That's going to happen. But sometimes you're not going to win a championship if you don't have Kyrie Irving. Okay, you're not going to. So yeah, sure. It's like, oh my God, look how great Jaylen Brown is. Where's that going to get you without Kyrie? You're not winning.
Kyrie's been in the championship after he left the Celtics, right?
No.
Okay, then. So
what does that have to do with anything?
You're saying you're not winning a championship without Kyrie Irving.
That team. You know how hard it is to win a game 7? Everyone's oh, they got to 7 games with the Cavs. Like with that team, you're not beating LeBron. I'm sorry.
I agree with you there. In that situation, well, that's just a what if question. What if Kyrie was present game 7 against the Cavs? That's just what if, and you can say they win, they lose. Like I as a Celtics fan, I personally don't know, right? But without Kyrie, they got to game 7 and they should have won that game, but they didn't. LeBron was obviously LeBron. So like that's just it is what it is. But then like Kyrie comes back on that team and they don't even make it to the conference finals. It's like,
you know what's funny? Kyrie got all the blame for that last series, but Jason Tatum almost shot in the 20s percentage-wise. And the only good player in that series was Marcus Morris. Jaylen Brown was okay. Marcus Morris was the only consistently good player in that series. Everyone played bad. But he got bullied. He got bullied out of the city. It's hilarious to me. You guys had the best team in the East.
Not really
so
bullied.
Spoiled. Oh my God! If you had Kobe in like the era from like 2003 to 2007, you would have bullied him out too, pretty much. It would have been unbearable for you, and he was 5 times as more vocal as Kyrie was.
I just
feel what you don't know a good thing when you have it. That's why y'all want to be like, oh, trade Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, we got Bill.
Listen, that's we're not gonna continue with this because that we can go on and on. We'll just go to the next topic. And I'll start with you, Joel. We're gonna talk about the new rule change with drawing fouls. Harden kind of made it famous, and now Harden can't do it anymore, and a lot of players can't do it anymore. Is this new rule change where you jump in the air, you try to pretty much draw contact very, very aggressively to get free throws? Is this hurting any players in the league, or is it hurting the league as well? Because I know there's a bunch of games that have been low scoring, and when I say low scoring, I mean below 100 points, which I don't think I saw a lot of that last season. But is this new rule change hurting any players and or the league?
I mean, we're clearly pointing at Harden right now. I say you give him time because you know this man has been what top five in scoring and MVP votes like the last decade practically. So like he knows how to get to the bucket, right? So like let's not go crazy here. So I don't think we're gonna look back at this years from now and be like, damn, we fucked up putting in this rule. I don't think that's gonna be the reality. People are fine. These are grown men, right? These are grown ass men. We're not the wit, Phil, when you trying to do some crazy move. So I think people are just overreacting. Like we said at the top of the hour, it's 2 weeks. Harden knows how to get the ball into the hoop. Just let him play. Everything will be straight.
Liam.
Yeah, I agree. The rule change is worse for some players scoring wise, but it's definitely better for the league. I mean, the way I look at it is like if you're playing a pick game and you try to pull that shit, you're not getting the foul call. Up fake a three and you jump and I jump into you, like no one's gonna be like, oh, that's a foul on Phil. So it was a terrible rule to begin with, but like Trey Young being like, oh, like look at all the scoring that's gone down, like me and Dame and Harden. Like it's not because this rule, it's because they suck so far. Like it's early in the season, they're gonna be fine. Like that rule was brutal. It was awful. Like I'm glad it's gone. And all these guys, like Joel said, they're gonna be fine. They're adults. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Harden's fat right now. In a month, he'll be amazing again. He's been in fucking Paris with Lil Baby drinking champagne in bathtubs. He doesn't have time to practice basketball. So just give him a little, like, couple more weeks, and everything will be fine.
Randall, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's. I know we kind of forget, but players all the time they slump like crazy at the beginning of the season. I think this is the most star players I've seen in a long time slump this hard this early. James Harden's slump kind of went away. Like he's not scoring 25 a game right now, but I think he's figuring it out. Um, but yeah, I'm so glad the rule changes came in. Like it was, especially in the playoffs, it got painful because like there are some dudes you couldn't even guard them tightly because they're just gonna like flail their arm and like get 3 free throws.
Dude,
Um,
Devin Booker. Oh my god.
yeah, it was insane. Um, and just like it feels free. Like the calls like that can change the game, and they're not even fouls. Like it's just it's. I'm glad that it kind of it's not a perfect game, but it's just making it a lot more enjoyable and it's tougher. That's how you get like the grittiness of basketball back a little bit. So
True. All right, so we're gonna go to the last topic. It's a topic we're gonna revisit from last week. Joel, you're gonna be the first one on this topic, and like I said, no questions, just straight thoughts. When I say the NBA's top 75 list, what are your thoughts on it?
It felt like half of it was correct, the other half was popularity contest. I mean, like, my knee-jerk reaction when I saw like Dwight Howard was on there, I was like, come on, come on. So I think there's a lot of recency bias. Like we brought up Lillard. What does he got to show for it? He has a couple 50-point games, but like to be top 75, dog. I'm sorry. Like no, he doesn't need to be in there. So I think half of the you could I think maybe 20 players debatably you can go back and forth, and I just thought it was like a popularity contest, like who's cool, who's not. So I give it maybe like a B minus, B B B minus or B.
So if I'm hearing correctly, your your whole spiel on giving the list a B minus is because you saw names like Damian Lillard in there.
Yeah, in replace of other legends that were probably hot in the early 2010s or early 2008 or 2010, whatever the case might be. And I mean, we
So
gotta go on accolades, man. We gotta go on accolades here.
So Dame's never been hot. Dame doesn't have any accolades.
Damon's been hot, but he does not have the type of accolades, for example, that Dwight Howard has. Pause.
Facts.
Pause.
So you're saying, so if I'm hearing this correctly, you're saying Dwight Howard should be in at the expense of Damian Lillard.
Easily. For those two, easily. Yes, easily.
Drugs. Oh my drugs.
Easily.
No way.
No.
You must not have been watching ball like super early. I know it was a long time ago, but
No. Don't get me wrong when I say this. Dwight Howard at the expense of Damian Lillard, that's just no. That's just drugs to me. But do I believe Dwight Howard should be in there? Yes. Do I believe Klay Thompson and Kyrie should be in there? Yes. Not at the expense of Damian Lillard. I don't know why we see the list and we see Damian Lillard and we say him. He's got to kick him out.
This is like the equivalent of me saying that, hey, let's go to music, for example, top hip hop albums. This would be the equivalent of me saying, hey, we're gonna take Drake's what was that new album that Drake put out? What was it called?
Certified Trash Bitch. I think.
Certified Lover Boy. Listen, Certified Lover Boy did numbers, but no one in their right mind would say that album is better than like the Carter 3. And what we're gonna say, the Carter 3 isn't gonna be a top 75 player because Lil Wayne is like, kind of off the rails now. It's the exact same equivalent. We're talking about top 75. You got it. It's about consensus. It's about consensus here.
I just don't see how you can say, because Damian Lillard is going to be in the Hall of Fame too. Damian Lillard got accolades too. Like, I don't know how we can
name Lillard's accolades. Name them.
Name them. First team All NBA 1 year, 2 or 3 times second team All NBA. I know he has 1 third team All NBA. In the West, I think it's 10 seasons in the NBA. He's made the playoffs 8 times. Bubble MVP.
Huh?
Bubble MVP. Don't even start with that.
That's 8 games.
I know he's a perennial All-Star.
See, now you're giving your own titles now. See, now you're
he's been in the All-Star games many times, and he's been snubbed.
We all agree that your man crush Monday is good at basketball.
Listen, man.
But everything you just said, Dwight Howard did and more.
Listen, if you want to say Dwight Howard over Damian Lillard, you're just doing what people have done to him his whole career, snubbing him, disrespecting him, not giving him the respect that he deserves. Which is fine. We're talking about a man who came out of Weber State. I'll say that again. Weber State, and put the whole NBA. When Steph Curry was out the league, who did they say was the best point guard in the league? Not Kyrie. Not Kyrie.
They, or do you mean you?
Not Russell Westbrook.
They said James Harden.
No, they did it.
Yeah,
they said Damian Lillard. No, they did it. They said Damian Lillard.
Are you talking about your timeline or the world?
I'm talking about the world. I'm talking about Logo Lillard. I'm talking about this man was averaging 50 points against the top playoff teams. He put up 50 in LeBron's house. The year that
Harden did that way before he did, but you don't care about that.
Harden's in the top 75.
Harden's better than Lillard.
You can tell the story of the league definitely without Damian Lillard, is all I'm going to say. It's going to be hard to tell it, especially that part of the decade without Dwight Howard, because he made it to the finals. He
against prime LeBron
was a player of the year.
I'm not saying he doesn't belong on I'm not saying he doesn't belong on the list. I'm just saying
you don't think at the expense of Damian Lillard.
Exactly.
Okay. But it shocked people to see Dame's name on the list. So, one of the first names they're going to say is
shocking y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all for years. I told y'all when he was top 5, he was a problem, but then you were like, he's not even in the playoff discussion. But then Steph Curry, he's been top 5, but last year he didn't make the playoffs, and everyone's still saying he's top 5. Like, you guys, when I say things for Lillard, it's excuses. But now I'm not saying anything. The NBA is telling y'all He's the top 75 player. You're not mad at me. You're mad at the NBA, and I've been trying to tell y'all for years. Like Dame's that dude. But now we want
He is that dude. He is one of the dudes. It doesn't mean like we can argue if he's a top 75 player. There's great players that have been in the NBA. Me saying Klay Thompson or Dwight Howard or fucking even Grant Hill should be in over him. Like that's not outlandish.
It's not outlandish, but you're saying at the expense of Dame.
I'm not necessarily saying at the expense of him. I'm just he was one of the most surprising names on the list. And you know what? I might have to say expense of him because
he's easily the number one most surprising guy on that list.
Yes.
He's the only person on that list that hasn't won an MVP or been to a finals.
Bubble MVP.
That's not a thing, Phil.
That is a thing.
Did he beat out T.J. Warren for that award? It's very impressive.
Listen, the NBA made it a thing, so it's a thing. Listen, when Giannis got his MVP, got his not MVP, his NBA trophy, it didn't say Bucks 2021 champions, but under Harden and Kyrie were injured, did it? Nah, it goes on in his resume as an NBA champion. Now everyone has said healthy Nets, they don't win, right? So like healthy Dame with a lot of things, his resume gets like crazy. So for
you just said okay, so Giannis helps because the Nets guys were injured, but then when Dame gets to play the Warriors without Nurkic, it's an excuse. It's got to go both ways.
But Dame also got injured too, and he was still putting up numbers.
Yeah, he was. I'm just like, we don't care about those numbers because he has nothing to show for it.
Like Dame has made it in the playoffs 8 out of his 10 seasons in the Western Conference with no All-Stars. Who has done that recently and gone far?
You care more about All-Stars than I do.
Not all those years without All-Stars. Early in his career, his playoff appearances, he had All-Stars in his team. So don't do that.
He had one, and that was Aldridge.
That's
and then after he left Dame, he was nothing. Huh?
Hey, let me ask a different question.
What do you mean he was nothing?
He wasn't the same.
He made the playoffs multiple time All-Star after that. Got older. There early on the Spurs, he was the same. You're going to be in denial because.
But then the Spurs said we had enough of you, and they dumped him.
Yeah, after what? 5 years?
What'd you say, Joel?
Let me ask a different question. What about Anthony Davis and like Ray Allen being on that list? Because Anthony Davis, like I'm on the fence with him because he just broke through, but he did it with LeBron, Ray Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your guys' thoughts on players like that like kind of rode the wave, but were never really like the man? Like maybe they were for like a sliver of time, but like, you know what I'm saying?
This is where I'm getting to, bro. If Anthony Davis never teamed up with LeBron and he was on that list, like Anthony Davis was that dude. He was putting up crazy numbers in New Orleans. Now, was he winning? No, because New Orleans had who? They had nobody except for Drew Holiday, who wasn't like the Drew Holiday that he is now, and Boogie Cousins maybe for a year or two, and then like they had Alvin Gentry as their head coach. Alvin Gentry isn't a head coach no more. So like if Dame goes on and plays with, let's say LeBron, which he's turned down like a couple times, and he gets a ring and he's on the list, are we saying anything?
No. If he had a ring, he would deserve to be on the list, but he doesn't because he cares more about scoring than winning.
But that's my point. He's playing with LeBron and All-Star and other like talent. Dame has not been playing with nobody. He's in a small market. But then we say, he doesn't
lie.
What do you mean?
You're saying nobody. You put so much weight on All-Star players, bro.
When's the last time you seen a conference finals with less than 2 All-Star on each team?
The Spurs.
NBA finals, sorry.
The Spurs.
The Spurs have Hall of Fame coaching and Greg Popovich and Hall of Fame players.
So you're sprinkling all little ingredients after the question.
That's facts.
I mean, dude, you can make up whatever excuses you want. I feel like
It's
you
not
think we hate
excuses, it's
Lillard.
facts. How many Hall of Fame players have Dame played with? I'll wait.
A little early.
Well,
Melo,
early. Who? Who?
Carmelo Anthony, your boy.
Who revived Carmelo's? Who revived Carmelo's Anthony?
Himself.
Carmelo Anthony did. What are you talking about?
Yeah, nah, stop it.
The front
played-
office bringing him in did that. I don't know about Dame, dog. Revive Carmelo Anthony's career. Are you joking?
Who do you think made that call to go get Carmelo Anthony?
Yo. Oh
Bro,
my
Damian
goodness.
Lillard wouldn't even stand up for himself this much.
You know that's true. You know, nobody in the league was looking at Carmelo until Dame said, until the Blazers were in a situation where they were losing and they were like they needed a change, they needed scoring, so they were like, Dame was like, go get Carmelo, and boom, they got Carmelo. Carmelo.
You were with him when you said that?
I was with him. I was on the phone, actually, and.
You were washing his shoes,
Not
bro.
even LeBron wanted Melo when he was out of the league.
Yeah, because LeBron was busy winning a championship.
So you can't bring Melo on the team? You can't make a call?
Hey, one team brought Melo on the team and lost in the first round? The other team didn't, and they won the championship. But hey, Dame got a bubble MVP, so it's 50-50, you know?
And first team All-NBA, perennial All-Star. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Let's go back to Joel's question. Ray Allen and Anthony Davis, right?
They have rings.
So if Ray Allen never got a ring, let's say Ray Allen only gets one ring with the Celtics, right? Is he on that list?
Yes.
Yes.
So Klay Thompson still's not on that list, even with Ray Allen with one ring.
Clay's career isn't over.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's not a good argument. That's not a good argument.
Yeah, I mean, if they made the list
So
while Ray Allen was in his second year with the Celtics or something, then he probably wouldn't have made it either.
Ray Allen was arguably all-time great as a number one player.
He was the best shooter
for a lot of years before he got to Boston, and then he won a championship in his
and
first
then
year with Boston.
What is he known for? The best shooter in the league.
Best shooter, top 3 shooter of all time. Top 4.
No. I know
two.
all time. I know. I'm just talking about when
2.
he was playing, and then he got to Boston. He became like the best shooter in the league at the time.
All right, but he's a 26 per game scorer before he gets to Boston. He's a great player, great defensive player, all that.
I understand that, but what do they know him like right now? As one of the best shooters. What do they know him as right now? If they said, yo, Ray Allen, what do you think of him? They're going to be like, yo, he's one of the best shooters to ever shoot the ball. Even though, like, hoopers know and a lot of people know that before that, he was like Jesus Shuttleworth. Like, he was putting up buckets on the board. But, like, at the end of the day, that big title on his resume is going to be one of the best shooters along with Reggie Miller, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and many more. Am I right or wrong?
The big title is going to say, 2 or 3 time champion. That's what all of them say.
I know,
it's a team game. You play to win.
But the question was, if Ray Allen only gets one ring on that Celtics compared to Klay Thompson's 3 rings on the Golden State Warriors, Ray Allen in and Klay Thompson out, that still makes sense
to you? If Klay's career ended right now, yes. But Klay still has hopefully a lot of time to play.
It makes no sense.
I'll put Klay ahead of Lillard.
Yeah, easily. That's
because Klay got 3 rings, right?
Yeah, he's a winner.
So Joel, because he got 3 rings and he's a winner, right?
It's cemented. It's cemented.
Definitely helps you. It definitely helps you, and you can't deny that.
No, y'all win. We gotta put Dwight Howard, Klay, and Kyrie in. Take out Charles Barkley, Allen Iverson, and Damian Lillard.
Horrible. That's just horrible, bro. And that just shows you got really. I'm not gonna say you don't know ball, but sometimes you flirt with it.
You got emotional.
Tease it.
No, y'all said it. I'm just following what y'all said. I'm with y'all.
Did they take Allen Iverson out?
He got no rings. He's a loser. In Liam's eyes, he's a loser.
He's won an MVP and he's been to a finals.
Other than that, has he been winning in the playoffs?
What? He made it to a finals. He plays
knock.
against probably the best team in the last 30 years.
Anyone in there?
And David Lillard has it.
No, he hasn't been to the finals.
David Lillard hasn't lost to the best teams in probably in the 30 years either.
Yeah, he
With
got
the
swept
Warriors
by him
dynasty?
twice.
Yeah, he got smoked by him.
Maybe you should ask
Smoked by Drew Holiday.
first. Before you pose it here.
Listen, man, if y'all argument is they got rings, then you can take out Charles Barkley, you can take out Allen Iverson, and take out Damian Lillard. But you can't do that because they were them dudes when they were playing.
Both
were
of those
more than
guys
them
have
dudes,
been to the
bro.
finals, man. They led their
They were
teams to the
more
finals.
than them dudes. They were top 3 players in the whole league.
Yeah.
They were MVPs.
Facts, bro.
I guess we can go on and on and on about this.
Does Olympic success help you in the Basketball Hall of Fame too? Yes. Absolutely.
At the end of the
Dame Lillard has a
day,
gold medal, but he was bricking shots the whole entire time.
at the end of the day, Damian Lillard's in, and the NBA said so. I was just the guy that said, hey, he's top 5, but I would get roasted because y'all would think otherwise. And y'all would say, he's been a loser, he doesn't have an MVP, blah, blah, blah.
MVP had nothing to do with that.
He's behind Curry and arguably Harden, if you want to put him in there, for top point guards in the league. And when Curry's out, he's the top point guard, arguably. So, like,
I would feel very poorly about the game of basketball in the NBA if that was the number 1 point guard, if Curry got hurt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's just how I feel.
You must have felt bad, like, the year that Curry wasn't playing then. Really bad.
No, I didn't, because I knew there were 2 guys that were clearly better than him.
Who?
James Harden and Luka Doncic.
Oh, my God.
Were they not?
You brought Luka into this discussion?
Dude, you almost had a heart attack when I said that first time last year.
Bro, it's like, because, like,
he's so much better than Lillard. It's crazy.
Bro, the question is, no, because that's a whole nother topic, and we're not going to even get into that. But that question was, who was the best? Like, we were talking about power rankings. If we're going to go by who's the best, who's a better point guard, and we go Luka and Damian and Kyrie, I'm going to say Kyrie's a better point guard than against those two. But the question was, who's the best point guard in the league? I'm talking about, you got to look at everything. You got to look at the stats, what they're doing, and what they're working with. And I said Damian Lillard.
Yeah, and you were wrong. It's okay.
I was very much right.
No, you weren't.
Very much. Because let's be real. You know, let's not even go into that discussion because I'm tired of talking with y'all. We've been on for like 90 minutes. And Rudy said he'd be in here, and he's still not in here. That man is late for everything. But let's get into our final thoughts. Joel, this is the part of the show where you get to say anything you want. Final thoughts as we sign out.
Man, it's going to be an exciting season. It looks like everything's kind of flipped on its head, which I like because it makes us guess. The fact that we got the Bulls number 1, number 2 in the standings, and I think the Bucks are like 10. So, but it's only 2 weeks, so we'll figure it out. I'm pumped. The only thing I know definitely is that the Celtics. So that's what I know for sure.
Randall, final thoughts.
We gotta run spaces, especially after games, to talk about just how this shit went, because it'll be live. I'm watching the Warriors right now against the Hornets. This is the ugliest basketball game I've ever seen in my entire life.
Bro, watching LaMelo gives me diarrhea. Oh my God.
He just threw up 2 air balls, threw the ball out of bounds. He's out of the game right now. Ish Smith came in. But the Warriors are playing gross. And it's 19-15. The quarter's almost over. It is disgusting. Yeah, that's all. I just want. Oh my God! Nah, all right. Gary Payton's son's better than Gary Payton. I don't care what nobody says.
Oh my god.
I think he just jumped over the whole team. Okay, this game's not that ugly anymore. Oh, PJ Washington just made it 3. Yeah, it's ugly. All right, I'm done.
Liam, Liam, final thoughts.
I guess the last thing I would say is like it's still really early, so just everybody relax with what's going on. Last year, do you guys know who started out 6-2? The Orlando Magic. So
Facts.
we saw how that went. So just take it week by week. We'll see how things go, but it's been a lot of fun. Cavs are good. It's all I need.
Are they good though?
Yes.
I haven't-
We beat Damian Lillard tonight, baby. 26
Yo.
points on 27 shots. That's your guy?
We're gonna be needing to do some uncomfortable conversations about Jarrett Allen and his status as a big man because it is climbing.
I mean,
It
would
is
you rather
climbing.
Jared Allen or Prime Shaq, you guys?
Jarrett Allen.
Yeah.
drugs. Oh my lord.
I'm kidding, Phil. Jesus Christ.
Drugs. My final thoughts is kids stay away from drugs because, you know, it's a crazy world out there. You don't got to be doing that. One day you take drugs, next thing you know, you think Damian Lillard's not a top 75 player. You know,
I mean,
you don't want that. You don't want to sound crazy in front of your peers, you know, because Damian Lillard is that guy. He's starting off slow, but he will figure it out. And Damian Lillard is in the club. Clay, Dwight Howard, and Kyrie are not.
Damn.
Don't be mad at us. Be mad at the bouncer. His name is the NBA. Talk to him about it.
You know the people that made that are just sports writers, right? Like, it's not the NBA that made that list.
Even better, the sports writers know what they're saying.
Oh my god, dude.
The NBA put it out there, didn't they? They didn't.
The ballot,
NBA,
yeah, sure.
The NBA has a lot of money. They could have swayed that list. Am I not right?
You know, I bet they sell a lot more Lillard jerseys than Dwight Howard jerseys. That's interesting. That's an interesting point.
For anyone that's tuning in on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, thank y'all. We'll be here next Wednesday. We might talk about Scottie Pippen. We might talk about anything that's really trending in the sports world and maybe the music world. Who knows? But that's another one of That's On Me, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Oh, wait. Rudy's here.
Oh my god, bro. It's been like 2 hours.
You're lying.
Rudy, can you hear us?
What? Oh my god.
Rudy, you just made it.
Oh my god, bro.
You just made it on the show.
Yo, Rudy, what are your final thoughts?
Yo, Rudy.
You black
we
people,
lost.
man. You always late. You blacks. I'm Liam.
What is it?
Yo,
For the
Rudy,
audio, this is Liam. You blacks. You're always late. This is white Liam. You blacks
It's
are always
disgusting.
Oh, boy.
Oh my
late.
god.
Oh, damn.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, Rudy, you just missed the topic where we talk about how we're very proud of Damian Lillard making the top 75.
Thank God I didn't hear none of that chat then.
Did you?
That boy don't deserve to be top 75 at all.
Why does he?
Dude, what has he done besides Rookie of the Year? Please.
Rudy, did you know you won Bubble MVP? Also, did you know that was an award?
Bubble MVP. Come on. We saw what Tyler here was doing in the bubble. That don't mean shit.
He was
Yeah,
in Space
well-
Jam, right?
Yeah, he was in Space
Are you
Jam.
saying
He was
the bubble
the
MVP?
clock
Are
guy.
you saying the bubble? Dude, the man cried to make NBA All-Star. I don't want to hear that.
Thank you.
We're
Damn,
not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Don't
Is it
disrespect.
not true?
him, please. He didn't cry.
He's
No.
not top 175 at all.
Yes, he is.
No, what is he
The
done?
NBA, no, the NBA just put out the list like I think 2 weeks ago. He's top 75.
What has Dame done?
Bro, just
Answer
Google.
my question.
No, listen.
My question.
Go to
What has
Google.
Dame, Phil, what
Google
has
and
Dame
type
done?
in NBA
Bro, get
75
me out
anniversary
of here.
Phil, what has
Yes.
Dame done?
Dame has done a lot. He's been
What?
at being the best point guard in the league for a couple years.
Over who?
Guys,
Over
I'm
Steph
out. I
Curry?
gotta go.
Yeah, get me away from here.
Over Curry when he's out. Over Harden.
Over
Over
Harden?
Luka.
Phil, good night, Phil. You're on drugs, Phil. I see that new job got you bugging out.
Yo, all right. We're gonna. Anyone that's watching on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, make sure to follow everyone that you saw up here. Follow the page on Instagram. That's on me, bruh. Just how it sounds. And we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace, love, and we'll see you when I see y'all.